Well, go on, those people, my inquisitive crew. Let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Miami, as the most recent episode has dropped. And of course, we have to pick up with Shay and her man, Fable. She's obviously checking him about, the way he spoke to the mum, her mum, and basically tells him that he needs to fix the situation. But what I thought was interesting is that I felt like he was just making up some excuses about MJ, and because the MJ thing situation happened after he really was feisty and ranked to the mum. So I don't understand why he's bringing that up. But his attitude is still really terrible to me, because I'm like, how is it that you have upset your woman and you've upset your woman's mum, and you're coming down asking for breakfast? Really? You're crazy and disrespectful. Like, seriously, sort it out. So obviously she's told him he needs to apologise to the mum. But I'm like, how is it that now he hasn't apologised? Because from that happened that evening before the mum went to bed, she should have got a phone call to apologise, because there was no need for his behaviour. Now, Trina, I find quite hilarious at times, because you can tell she's just not into the new friends. She doesn't want no new friends. So when she has a little meet up with her girlies at her commercial filming, and they're having a few drinks, and Tip's telling her, oh yeah, I want to bring along a Zoe Brinks, this is her face. You can tell she's a bit like, yeah, whatever. She didn't really want to go to Bobby Lights' party thing, and she made that quite clear, and nor did Joy, obviously, because he's been causing lots of mix-up. But Tip was definitely insisting that, she wants to bring Zoe along. And I kind of get it from, her trying to make peace. But as we know, it doesn't go well or peaceful on this show. So Eliza Rain has joined the cast. And she is also known as, the 8th baby mother to rapper Future. I thought it was interesting, her doing an open house. And, meeting Amara Lega to take her through that. But then you end up having a full-on breakdown. So where Amara's kind of scooting over to try and, comfort her and see what's going on. And she's breaking down about it being hard and, being on her own, raising her child and stuff. And I'm just thinking, well, hold on a minute. One of the things that I thought was quite interesting was that you just started really reading off your business straight away. So clearly you're definitely in need of some friends. And then also the revisionist history. It was like, you've been dating for 2 years and you made it sound all nice and lovely. But the real fact of the matter is, you really knew the man had a bag of children. And had you looked at the way he treated his baby mothers, you would have known that, what was coming down the road for you. But obviously, a lot of women seem to have this attitude of, oh, well, it ain't going to happen to me. But, we can see that clearly that's not the case. But, I just felt like, revisionist historian over here. But, let's just see how this all pans out. Now, sidebar, I was glad to see Bobby Lights and Suki get together and clear the air. So he apologised to Sukiana, and that was nice to see that they actually had their little moment and cleared the air. So that's all good. Now, moving on to Mama D. As you know, she's always in everyone's mix-up. But I thought it was kind of nice to see her and Shay's mum. But it was good to see her with Shay's mum and see her with her own peer group, But of course, it didn't take her very long to start talking about what she's heard on the streets. And she had me cracking up, talking about, she heard in the street about Shay's baby father, how he is broke with 6 kids and a wife. I said, Jesus, this woman is not easy when she comes with her gossip. The question is this true? Is this true? Because their little ponderosa did have me cracking up at that point. Now, of course, when Shay joins them, she is vexed. And so she's kicking off at Mama D for, taking her baby father to the side and saying that, she wished it was her sons, which is out of order. I can understand her being upset, but we know Mama D, we know what she's like. So, it's fair that she, told her off and said, basically she's trying to counsel her, has the glam grandma, whatever she calls her. But I do feel like Mama D does have love for Shay, and she's trying to look out for her with the baby father. But the whole bringing up Scrappy every 5 minutes, just like, let it go. Scrappy is not looking her, she's not looking Scrappy, like, let it go, Mama D, let it go. Shay did acknowledge, though, that, clearly her man Fable does owe her mum an apology, and her mum just made it known that she's waiting. She is waiting on her apology, and at this point she shouldn't be waiting. The man should have called and put in an apology a long time, because I'm sure you're raised by somebody, you have a mother, so you wouldn't want no one to disrespect your mum like that. Now, let's talk about Bobby Lights' party. Now, one thing we'll say is that, he's got a lovely voice. He kind of reminds me of like a gay Chris Brown. I was like, yes, come through with the singing. And why were you not doing this in the first place? Now, Zoe Brinks, what was that? That wasn't the right way. You know, I get it. You think it was supposed to be a joke, but that didn't go very well at all. You cannot approach people with your shade first. You know, how about, had she actually waited to get introduced and then said hi and been like, you know what, I wasn't sure. I thought, you know, it might have been like Mean Girl energy or whatever. It might have landed a bit better. But because you came in talking about Mean Girls and that's all that Joy heard, I can see why she would get her back up a little bit, be thinking, why is she saying that? And I hate when people get into these arguments and they start calling people nobodies. Like, everybody is somebody. Like, what the hell? Don't do that. Don't do that. Also, I felt like Bobby, obviously Bobby was also trying to, like, people were trying to calm her down. Bobby tried to calm her down. And then she kind of, you know, she was flipping out on everybody at that point. So obviously he told her that, you know, she's got to go, which is fine. But I thought also, sidebar, that I do notice that Bobby always does, like, stick up for his family. He'll stick up for, obviously, Trina and Joy. But, you know, I don't see it really happening for them doing it for him that often, you know, sidebar. Now, this argument between Miami, Tip and Eliza, I just thought it didn't need to happen. It was a bunch of foolishness because Tip is coming across as a hater. Because whether, you know, whether Eliza wanted to have this, what she called the check baby, and whether she had, you know, she thought that she was pregnant for Future or some next other ninja from Ohio, whatever the case is, that's her business. Like, why is it your business going to run to the internet and tell everybody all this information? And, you know, obviously she blew up a long time. We know that if you were following the story, you know that she, you know, went to the blog. She posted up lots of receipts. But the point is that clearly you lot were friends at some point. So to me, it's just showing that Tip, you're not really a friend because you're happy to turn on people when they, when you guys end up in a mix-up. So Eliza is in her rights to be, you know, vexed about her outing her in that way if they were proper friends. But obviously Eliza clearly thinks that, you know, Tip is just jealous of her and she threw the shade, which is, you know, basically that Tip is still working in clubs and selling her cat, basically, and while she's busy selling homes. So that did make me crack up a little piece. But I just thought this whole situation didn't seem to need to go down. I want to know, really, what is the reason behind it all? What did Eliza do to Tip for her to be going off on her? That to me is the real story here, because otherwise, why are you out here just outing people? Make it make sense, please. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts below. Bye for now.